You are eating well. You are moving more than before. You have cut back on the obvious things, and the weight does not move. Or it moves, slowly, grudgingly, and the moment you ease up, it returns. Not all of it, just enough. Enough to make you question everything you are doing. What if the problem is not what you are eating, but what your body cannot release? In Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, and traditional Japanese medicine, there is a concept that explains stubborn weight more accurately than any calorie equation. It is called dampness. And the two organs responsible for producing it, or clearing it, are the spleen and the liver. In this episode of the S.O.F series, Symptom to Organ to Food, we explore weight to spleen plus liver, a dampness reset. Download the dampness reset infographic and the specific foods from everyday Asian kitchens that help the body release what it has been holding. If you are new here, a warm welcome. The S.O.F series stands for Symptom to Organ to Food. We have explored Episode 1, Fatigue in the Kidneys. Episode 2, Digestion in the Spleen. Episode 3, Anxiety and the Kidney-Heart Connection. Episode 4, Broken Sleep and the Liver. Episode 5, Sugar Cravings and the Spleen. Episode 6, Burnout and the Kidney-Liver Axis. Episode 7, Restlessness and the Heart. Episode 8, Low Immunity and the Lungs. Episode 9 brings together two organs you have already met in this series, the spleen from episodes 2 and 5, and the liver from episodes 4 and 6. When both are functioning well, the body transforms food into energy and moves waste out efficiently. When both are sluggish, the body holds. It accumulates. It becomes heavy, not just physically, but in every sense of that word. Part 1. What is dampness? Dampness is one of the most important and least understood concepts in traditional Asian medicine. It is not water retention in the medical sense, though it includes that. It is not fat in the biochemical sense, though it produces it. Dampness is the accumulation of incompletely transformed matter in the body. When the spleen's transformative function weakens from cold food, irregular meals, overwork, or worry, food is not fully converted into energy. Instead, it forms a residue, a heaviness, a clogging of the body's channels. When the liver's coursing and draining function slows from stress, suppressed emotion, alcohol, late nights, or sedentary living, the body's fluids and waste products stagnate instead of moving. Dampness is what happens when the spleen cannot transform and the liver cannot move. The result is weight that feels different from simply having eaten too much, because it is different. Modern medicine has several overlapping concepts: metabolic syndrome, the cluster of insulin resistance, central adiposity, and sluggish glucose metabolism; non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, liver congestion from processed food, fructose, and sedentary living; lymphatic sluggishness, poor fluid movement and toxin clearance; chronic low-grade inflammation, the underlying driver of stubborn weight that resists simple reduction. All of these have their traditional counterpart in dampness and liver qi stagnation. Shifu tip. In Ayurveda, the equivalent concept is ama, the residue of incompletely digested food and experience that accumulates in the channels of the body. Both TCM dampness and Ayurvedic ama describe the same phenomenon, the body holding what it could not fully process. The treatment in both traditions follows the same logic: warm the spleen, move the liver, dry the damp. Every recipe in this episode does all three. What creates dampness today? Modern life is a near-perfect dampness-generating environment. Cold food and drinks as daily habit. The spleen in Chinese medicine is a warm, dry organ. It needs warmth to transform food into energy. Cold food, refrigerated leftovers, ice water, chilled smoothies, cold salads eaten daily, progressively cools the spleen's digestive fire. The food gets partially processed and the residue accumulates. This is one of the most widespread and least recognized contributors to stubborn weight in modern life, not because cold food is harmful occasionally, but because consuming it, as the default, day after day, steadily extinguishes the digestive flame. Shifu tip. Notice how traditional Asian home cooking is almost entirely warm: dal, rice, sabzi, miso soup, congee, stir-fried vegetables. Even raw salad, when it appears, is dressed with warming agents: ginger, sesame oil, vinegar, chili. This was not accidental. It was centuries of observation about what keeps the spleen strong and the body light. The modern fetish for cold smoothies and raw salads as health food runs directly against this wisdom, particularly for people who already tend toward dampness. Sweet and heavy foods in excess. Sweetness in small amounts nourishes the spleen. This is why jaggery, dates, and sweet potato are tonics in traditional medicine. But refined sugar, processed flour, and heavy dairy in large quantities overwhelm the spleen's capacity to transform. They are the primary damp-generating foods in every traditional Asian medical system. In Ayurveda, kapha aggravating. In TCM, dampness producing. The language differs. The observation is identical. Sedentary living. The liver requires movement to function. Qi and blood move through the liver's channels during physical activity. A sedentary day followed by a sedentary evening followed by sedentary work creates progressive liver qi stagnation. The liver cannot course and drain. Fluids pool. Metabolism slows. Stubborn weight accumulates, particularly around the abdomen and the sides of the torso, where the liver's meridian runs. Chronic stress and unprocessed worry. Stress directly injures the spleen in TCM. The spleen is considered the organ most vulnerable to the emotion of worry and overthinking. Chronic mental overwork, anxiety, and the particular modern stress of always having something unresolved in the mind progressively weakens spleen qi. At the same time, stress drives liver qi stagnation. The liver's coursing function ceases under sustained pressure. This is why people under long-term stress often gain weight even when eating carefully. The organs responsible for metabolism and fluid movement are both compromised. Late, heavy dinners. The spleen's most active window in Chinese medicine is 7 to 9 a.m. Its least efficient time is the evening. A large, rich dinner, particularly after 8 p.m., is processed by a spleen already winding down. The incompletely transformed food contributes directly to dampness. Traditional Asian eating patterns, substantial breakfast, moderate lunch, light early dinner, were built around this biological reality. Part 3. How spleen-liver weight feels. This is important because dampness weight has a specific character that distinguishes it from simple overeating. Weight that concentrates in the abdomen, hips, and thighs, even with controlled eating. A feeling of heaviness in the body, particularly in the limbs, that is present even on days of rest. Bloating after meals, especially after cold food, raw food, or dairy. Water retention that fluctuates, worse in humid weather, better in dry, warm conditions. Fatigue after eating, particularly after lunch, when digestion should be energizing rather than depleting. Brain fog or mental heaviness that mirrors the physical heaviness. Weight that returns quickly after loss, because the underlying dampness has not been addressed. A tendency to feel worse in cold, damp weather and better in warm, dry weather. If this sounds familiar, the solution is not to eat less, it is to transform better. A cold body eating cold food in a stressed state will not lose weight sustainably, regardless of caloric intake. Warm the spleen, move the liver, clear the damp. Part 4. The food reset. In Chinese nutritional medicine, the approach to dampness weight follows 3 simultaneous actions. Tonify and warm the spleen. Rebuild its transformative capacity. Move and course the liver. Restore the organ's draining and coursing function. Dry the damp. Use specific foods that actively absorb and eliminate accumulated dampness. All 3 recipes below use everyday ingredients from Indian, Chinese, Japanese, and Southeast Asian kitchens. Nothing exotic, everything purposeful. Recipe 1. Aduki, bean and barley, dampness clearing soup. This is the most classical dampness clearing recipe in East Asian medicine. Aduki beans and barley appear together in Chinese, Japanese, and Korean traditional medicine specifically for their ability to resolve dampness, reduce fluid retention, and support the spleen's transformation function. In Japan, this combination, known as sekihan without the barley, is eaten at significant life moments for its tonifying and clearing properties. Ingredients: 1/2 cup aduki beans, adzuki/red beans, widely available in Indian and Asian stores as lal chori. 1/2 cup pearl barley, jao. 1 teaspoon fresh ginger, grated. 2 spring onions, sliced. 1 strip kombu. Seaweed, cooked in, removed before serving. 1 teaspoon sesame oil. Light soy sauce or white miso, a few drops or half a teaspoon to finish. 4 cups water. Optional. A pinch of dried tangerine peel, chenpai, available in Chinese herbal stores, adds liver-moving quality. Method 1. Soak aduki beans overnight or for at least 4 hours. Drain and rinse. 2. Add aduki beans, barley, kombu, and ginger to a pot with 4 cups water. 3. Bring to a gentle boil. Reduce to a low simmer for 45 to 55 minutes until both beans and barley are completely soft. 4. Remove kombu. Add sesame oil and a few drops of soy sauce or half a teaspoon of miso, stirred in off the heat. 5. Top with spring onions. Serve warm as a light dinner when heaviness is most felt. How it works. Aduki beans are one of the primary dampness-resolving foods in Chinese medicine. They are diuretic, spleen-tonifying, and specifically indicated for fluid retention and abdominal heaviness. Modern research confirms their high saponin content supports fluid metabolism and kidney filtration. Barley, or JAU, is another major dampness-drawing grain in both Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine. It clears damp heat, supports the digestive system, and provides soluble fiber that stabilizes the blood sugar instability that drives spleen-qi depletion. Kombu provides iodine and minerals that support thyroid and metabolic function. Ginger keeps the formula warm so the beans and barley can work without creating internal cold. Shifu tip. Aduki beans are lal chori. In Hindi is sold in every Indian grocery. They are not a Chinese-only ingredient. This is the same bean used across South Asia in sweets and festive cooking. In their unsweetened, soupy form, they are one of the most powerful dampness-clearing foods you can eat. Buy a bag. Keep it in your pantry. A bowl of this soup twice a week through the months when heaviness is worst will do more for fluid metabolism than most supplements on the market. Recipe 2. Turmeric, radish, and mung dal liver-moving khichdi. This recipe sits at the intersection of Ayurvedic and Chinese nutritional medicine. Mung dal is the lightest, most easily digested legume in both traditions. It clears heat, supports the liver, and nourishes without burdening. White radish moves liver qi and dries dampness. Turmeric is the most researched anti-inflammatory food on the planet and supports liver detoxification through multiple biochemical pathways. Together, this khichdi is the cleansing meal, light, warm, deeply nourishing, and one of the few things you can eat abundantly during a dampness clearing phase. Ingredients: 1/2 cup split, yellow mung dal, dehusked. 1/2 cup white rice or hand-pounded rice. 1 cup white radish, mooli/daikon, diced or grated. 1 teaspoon fresh turmeric, grated or 1/2 teaspoon turmeric powder. 1 teaspoon fresh ginger, grated. 1/2 teaspoon cumin seeds. 1/2 teaspoon coriander powder. A few curry leaves, optional but strongly recommended. 1 teaspoon ghee or sesame oil. Pinch of asafoetida, heiyingji, small pinch only. 4 cups water. Rock salt to taste. Fresh coriander leaves to finish. Method 1. Wash mung dal and rice thoroughly until water runs clear. 2. Heat ghee or sesame oil in a heavy pot. Add cumin seeds, curry leaves, and asafoetida. Let them sizzle for 30 seconds. 3. Add ginger and turmeric. Stir for another 30 seconds. 4. Add mung dal, rice, white radish, and coriander powder. Stir to coat. 5. Add 4 cups water. Bring to a gentle boil. Reduce to a low simmer. 6. Cook for 35 to 45 minutes, stirring occasionally until the khichdi is soft and porridge-like. Add more water if needed. It should never be dry or stiff. 7. Season with rock salt. Finish with fresh coriander. Serve warm. How it works. Mung dal is the most liver-friendly legume in both Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine. It clears heat from the liver channel, supports gentle detoxification, and is completely non-burdening on the digestive system. White radish, mooli, moves liver qi, dries dampness, and has mild cholagogue properties. It stimulates bile flow, which is the liver's primary mechanism for clearing metabolic waste. Turmeric's curcumin supports liver phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification pathways. This is not traditional language. This is modern biochemistry, confirming what traditional medicine has said for centuries. Hing, a sapoetida, is a powerful digestive, specifically used in Ayurveda to reduce AME and support agni. Ghee lubricates the digestive channel and carries the fat-soluble compounds in turmeric into the body far more effectively than water-based cooking. Shifu tip. This khichdi is Ayurveda's most fundamental cleansing food, and it belongs in this series because it is genuinely one of the most pharmacologically active meals you can make from a normal Indian kitchen. The combination of mung dal, turmeric, ghee, and hing has been used for panchakarma preparation for thousands of years. You do not need a retreat to eat this. You need a Tuesday evening and 20 minutes. Eat it for 3 consecutive days when you feel the heaviest, particularly after a period of rich food, travel, or stress. And notice what shifts. Recipe 3. Green tea, ginger and lemon, morning liver. Flush. This is not a recipe in the meal sense. It is a morning ritual. 5 minutes, 3 ingredients taken before breakfast. The liver's most active detoxification window is the early morning. This ritual catches that window. Green tea's catechins, ginger's gingerols, and lemon's D-limonene work together to stimulate bile flow, activate liver detox enzymes, and move stagnant qi before the day's food arrives. Simple enough that it will actually happen every day. Ingredients: 1 cup hot water, not boiling, approximately 80 degrees Celsius. Green tea is destroyed by boiling water. 1 teaspoon, good quality green tea, loose, or 1 tea bag. Japanese sencha, or Chinese green tea, work well. Indian green tea, also fine. 2 thin slices, fresh ginger. Juice of half a lemon, squeezed in after steeping. Optional, a small pinch of black pepper. Increases bioavailability of all 3 ingredients. Method 1. Heat water to approximately 80 degrees Celsius, hot but not boiling. 2. Add ginger slices and green tea. Steep for 3 to 4 minutes. Do not oversteep, it becomes bitter. 3. Remove tea and ginger. Squeeze in fresh lemon juice. 4. Drink warm, first thing in the morning, before breakfast, before coffee. How it works. Green tea. Catechins, particularly E, G, C, G, are among the most studied compounds for metabolic support. They activate AMPK, the enzyme that governs fat metabolism, and support liver function directly. Multiple clinical studies have found regular green tea consumption associated with reduced abdominal adiposity and improved liver enzyme profiles. Ginger stimulates digestive fire, agni in Ayurveda, moves liver qi, and reduces systemic inflammation. Lemon juice's D-limonene stimulates liver detox enzyme activity and alkalizes the digestive system upon metabolization. Together, before breakfast, this ritual prepares the liver for the day's metabolic work. It takes 5 minutes. Over months, it changes the liver's baseline function. Shifu tip. The sequence matters. Green tea, ginger, lemon before breakfast, not after. The empty stomach allows direct absorption into the portal circulation, the blood vessel that feeds directly into the liver. After a meal, the same drink would be diluted and delayed by the digestive process. This is the principle behind every traditional morning tonic in Asian medicine. Take it fasted, take it warm, and take it consistently. A single glass of this, every morning for 30 days, is worth more than any week-long cleanse. Part 5. The dampness, reset, rhythm. Dampness is a condition of accumulation. Clearing it requires not just different food, but different timing and movement. Eat your biggest meal before 1 p.m. The spleen is at its peak between 7 and 9 a.m. and still strong through midday. The liver's metabolic activity peaks mid-morning. Front-loading nutrition, a warm, substantial breakfast, and a proper lunch. And making dinner genuinely light is the single most impactful dietary shift for dampness weight. This is how traditional Asian societies ate. The modern inversion, small breakfast, moderate lunch, large dinner, is one of the most reliably dampness-generating eating patterns that exists. Shifu tip. Try the 3-week reversal. Eat your current dinner as lunch and your current lunch as dinner. Just swap them. Do not change the food, change the clock. Most people who do this report reduced bloating within 1 week, reduced abdominal heaviness within 2, and genuine metabolic shift within 3. It is the simplest structural change in this entire series. Walk after every meal, not exercise, just walking. In Chinese medicine, a short walk after meals activates the spleen's transformative function and prevents food from converting to dampness. This is called 100 steps after eating, Bai Bu, and it appears in Chinese health literature going back over 1,000 years. Modern research confirms that a 10 to 15-minute walk after meals measurably improves postprandial blood glucose clearance and reduces insulin response. Not a run, not a gym session. A walk, calm, unhurried, around the block. Keep the abdomen warm. The spleen's channel runs through the abdomen, cold to the belly from cold air, cold drinks, or sitting on cold surfaces directly suppresses spleen qi. Traditional Asian practice across India, China, Japan, and Korea includes keeping the lower abdomen warm, particularly for women and for people with dampness tendencies. A warm water bottle on the abdomen in the evening is an old remedy. It still works. Dry brush or self-massage before bathing. Lymphatic movement is the body's primary dampness clearing system. The lymphatic system has no pump, unlike the cardiovascular system, which has the heart. It moves through muscular contraction and pressure. Dry brushing the skin before a warm shower, moving toward the heart, activates lymphatic drainage and supports the body's ability to clear accumulated fluid and metabolic waste. 5 minutes, any dry brush, toward the heart, every morning. Read the body signals. The body does not hold weight to punish you. It holds weight because 2 organs, the spleen and the liver, have been given the wrong inputs for long enough that they can no longer transform and move efficiently. Cold food in a warm organ. Heavy dinners when the digestive fire is lowest. Stress on the liver every day with no movement to release it. Worry on the spleen every night with no warmth to restore it. The body is not broken. It is responding entirely logically to what it has been given. Change the inputs, warm the spleen, move the liver, dry the damp, and the body will change its output. Not quickly, not dramatically, but consistently and without suffering. Aduki beans and barley twice a week. A warm mung khichdi when the heaviness is worst. Green tea and lemon before breakfast every morning. A walk after lunch. Dinner before 7 p.m., light. None of these are extreme. All of them are precise. Precision without suffering. That is the S.O.F approach. If this episode reframes something, share it with someone who is frustrated with the scales. Download the free infographic, the Dampness Reset Guide below. It maps the spleen-liver weight pattern, the foods by season, and the 3 weekly habits that change the body's baseline. If this helped, subscribe to Thrive Shifu. Because the final episode of the S.O.F series brings it home, skin and the lung-liver axis. Because what shows on the surface is always a message from within. See you there.